Nicolás Maduro Moros is one of the most polarizing political figures of the 21st century. Rising from modest beginnings in Caracas to occupy the highest office in Venezuela, his story is one of loyalty, ideology, survival, and relentless controversy. For supporters, Maduro represents resistance against foreign influence and the continuation of Hugo Chávez's Bolivarian revolution. For critics, he embodies economic collapse, authoritarian governance, and one of the most dramatic political crises in modern Latin American history. As of now, Nicolás Maduro's estimated personal net worth is widely reported to stand around $3 million. This figure is based primarily on official salary earnings and declared assets. However, the true scale of wealth associated with Maduro has long been disputed. International investigations and asset seizures tied to his inner circle have alleged access to far greater resources, including foreign properties, aircraft, and financial accounts connected to corruption and narcotics trafficking cases. Maduro himself has consistently denied these allegations, calling them politically motivated attacks designed to undermine Venezuela's sovereignty. Regardless of the precise number, Maduro's financial story cannot be separated from his political one. His wealth, real or alleged, has become a symbol in the larger debate over power, legitimacy, and accountability. To understand how a former bus driver became one of the world's most sanctioned and scrutinized leaders, one must start at the beginning. Early life. Nicolás Maduro was born on November 23, 1962, in the working-class neighborhood of El Valle, located in Caracas, Venezuela. His upbringing was shaped by labor politics, economic struggle, and strong ideological influences that would later define his worldview. His father, Nicolás Maduro Garcia, was a trade union leader and political activist. Known for his left-leaning beliefs, Maduro Garcia instilled in his children a deep respect for organized labor and social justice. His mother, Teresa de Jesus Moros, was born in Cúcuta, Colombia, and raised her family within the traditions of Catholicism and discipline. Through his father's lineage, Maduro also has Sephardic Jewish ancestry, a detail he has acknowledged publicly, though he was not raised in the Jewish faith. Maduro is the only male child among 4 siblings. He grew up alongside 3 sisters, Maria Teresa, Josefina, and Anita, within a tightly knit household that emphasized political awareness and community solidarity. Family discussions often revolved around workers' rights, inequality, and resistance to elite power structures. In terms of education, Maduro completed secondary schooling in Caracas, but he did not pursue a traditional university degree. Unlike many world leaders, whose paths include elite academic institutions, Maduro's formative years were defined less by classrooms and more by real-world activism. As a young man, he immersed himself in grassroots organizing, labor movements, and political engagement at the street level. One of the most defining chapters of his early life was his work as a bus driver for the Caracas metro system. This job was not merely employment. It became his political training ground. Through union organizing among transit workers, Maduro learned negotiation, mobilization, and ideological messaging. It was here that his political identity truly took shape. Personal life. Nicolás Maduro's personal life is closely intertwined with his political career, particularly through his marriage to Cilia Flores, one of the most powerful women in Venezuelan politics. Flores, a lawyer by training, served as president of the National Assembly before becoming First Lady. Their partnership is widely viewed as both romantic and strategic, blending legal expertise with executive authority. Maduro has one biological son, Nicolás Ernesto Maduro Guerra, often known publicly as Nicolasito. Born in 1990 from an earlier relationship, his son later became a visible political figure in his own right, holding government roles and appearing frequently in state media. Maduro also became a stepfather to Flores's children from her previous relationships, forming a blended family that remained largely shielded from public scrutiny. Religiously, Maduro was raised Catholic, but his spiritual beliefs evolved over time. He has spoken openly about his admiration for the Indian spiritual leader Satya Sai Baba, blending Catholic tradition with broader spiritual influences. This unconventional mix became part of his public persona, especially when he referenced mystical experiences or symbolic interpretations of events. Outside formal governance, Maduro's other works consist primarily of ideological advocacy. He authored speeches, policy manifestos, and state broadcasts promoting Bolivarian socialism, anti-imperialism, and South-South cooperation. Unlike some leaders, he did not cultivate a private artistic or business career. His identity remained deeply rooted in political life. Professional career. From union activist to national power. Maduro's professional political career began in earnest through labor unions. His reputation as a disciplined, loyal, and ideologically consistent organizer brought him into contact with Hugo Chávez, the charismatic military officer who would soon transform Venezuelan politics. In 1999, Maduro became a member of the Constituent Assembly tasked with rewriting Venezuela's constitution. This positioned him at the heart of the Bolivarian project. By 2000, he was elected to the National Assembly, and in 2005, he rose to become its president, demonstrating his growing influence within Chávez's inner circle. Foreign Minister and Vice President. In 2006, Chávez appointed Maduro as Minister of Foreign Affairs, a role he would hold for 6 years. During this time, Maduro became Venezuela's chief international voice, strengthening alliances with Cuba, Bolivia, Iran, China, and Russia, while openly challenging U.S. foreign policy in Latin America. His loyalty was rewarded in 2012, when Chávez named him vice president. As Chávez's health deteriorated, Maduro became the public face of continuity, preparing the nation, explicitly endorsed by Chávez himself, for a future under his leadership. Presidency, 2013 to 2026. Following Chávez's death in 2013, Maduro narrowly won the presidential election and assumed office. What followed was one of the most turbulent presidencies in the region's modern history. His tenure was marked by economic freefall, including hyperinflation, shortages of food and medicine, collapsing oil production, and mass emigration. Politically, his leadership faced fierce domestic opposition, international sanctions, and repeated allegations of election irregularities. Despite these pressures, Maduro maintained power through a combination of institutional control, military loyalty, and international alliances. He was re-elected in 2018 and again in 2024, though both elections were disputed by opposition groups and several foreign governments. In early 2026, Maduro's rule came to an abrupt halt when he was captured and extradited to the United States, where he now faces multiple federal charges. His case represents one of the rare instances of a sitting or recently removed head of state facing trial abroad for alleged transnational crimes. House tour and car collection. Unlike celebrity figures who showcase luxury lifestyles, Nicolás Maduro never publicly displayed his residences or personal assets. There has been no verified house tour or officially documented private estate open to media coverage. However, international investigations revealed that properties, vehicles, and aircraft linked to Maduro and his associates were seized by U.S. authorities over the years. These assets, often described as luxurious, stood in stark contrast to the economic hardship faced by ordinary Venezuelans, further fueling public outrage and global scrutiny. As for cars, Maduro primarily used state-issued vehicles during his presidency. No confirmed personal car collection has been publicly verified. Nicolás Maduro did not have a college career in the conventional sense. He did not attend a university, nor did he pursue formal higher education credentials. His political education was experiential, shaped by unions, activism, diplomacy, and governance rather than academic institutions. This unconventional background has been both criticized and praised, depending on perspective. For supporters, it symbolized authenticity and connection to the working class. For critics, it represented a lack of technical expertise in managing a modern economy. As of today, Nicolás Maduro is alive. He is currently in custody in the United States, awaiting trial on federal charges. Therefore, there is no cause of death to report. Any claims suggesting otherwise are inaccurate. Nicolás Maduro's life is a study in contrasts, poverty and power, loyalty and isolation, revolution and collapse. From a bus driver in Caracas to the most powerful man in Venezuela, his journey reshaped an entire nation and left deep scars that will define Venezuelan history for decades. Whether history ultimately judges him as a defender of sovereignty or a symbol of failed governance remains unresolved. What is certain is that Nicolás Maduro's story is not merely political. It is human, ideological, and profoundly consequential.